WWE Unreal is a series you can watch on Netflix right now, and it takes you behind the scenes of WWE, and because we're all massive nerds, I bet we all ran to our television devices to watch it. I have now seen all 5 episodes, and I'm going to tell you what I liked and what I didn't like, and whether you should watch it or not. But really, why the flub are you listening to me? You should make your own decisions. At the same time, please listen to me. Here's the deal. Of course, it is being pitched to you as a reality show, but as most reality shows are in 2025, it's reality in inverted commas. I'm pretty sure that WWE sat down and said, we're going to show this and we're going to show that, and we're going to make it more of an entertainment product as opposed to let you see the warts and all. Sometimes you'll see a booking meeting during Unreal, for example, and there ain't no way it goes like that. And if it does, it means they just speak in promo speak the entire time, which actually is a world that I would like to live in. We all know that we're waiting for the day when any kind of government says when you walk through a door, your entrance music will play and pyrotechnics go off. And I'm talking about the kitchen, man. You go for breakfast, bada bing. At the same time, though, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, because I just used the word. This show is so damn entertaining. Like, even when they are acting like they're coming up with the WrestleMania 40 card, it's fun to speculate, it's fun to look at what could have been, and then work backwards and go, well, how the flub would that have been possible? Because so-and-so wasn't even around at the time. From these points, though, you will then jump into learning about the people behind the characters, and that is the secret sauce when it comes to Unreal. Because some of the individuals they do focus on, you are just going to fall in love with. I mean, you get to see the likes of CM Punk talking about the fact that he gets anxious before matches. This is CM Punk we're talking about. You get to see John Cena go into the depths of how he feels about his last year in WWE and the heel turn, all of that jazz. And Rhea Ripley just comes out as the hero of the day, because you may have seen in some interviews where she talks about the fact she gets super duper nervous before matches. Well, here she does that again, but they've actually caught footage of her kind of freaking out, especially before her Royal Rumble match, I believe it is. No, before the Netflix premiere on January the 6th. And some of the stories that she tells you, for example, because it was coming in early January and they'd all have a bit of a Christmas break, she felt like she'd eaten too much food and she didn't even want to wear the new gear that she got made for this Raw premiere on Netflix. And that, to me, is the most personal story that anybody has ever told. I said this on another video, but I'll say it again. When I go to my wrestling matches, I have an array of wrestling attire, because sometimes I just can't do it, because I have body dysmorphia too. So when you hear those kind of tales, it just puts these people in a real human light, and you can't help but warm to them. And especially the first couple of episodes do focus on Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley, and CM Punk, and I just think all of them smack it out of the park. Like, you even see Rhea Ripley call her Liv Morgan match to Damian Priest, who just goes, that's a lot of stuff. Honestly, if you have wrestled in your real life, you will know that could be at any wrestling show in the world. It just so happens to be going down in WWE. So that's the stuff that I need more of, that human touch. And then if you want to come up with, oh my gosh, this is what we're going to do when it comes to the Royal Rumble, when it comes to WrestleMania, I will take it for what it's worth. Again, it's still fun, but I don't believe it's true reality television. It's also broken up into different ideas. The first episode is kind of about that Netflix show, and then you talk about the Royal Rumble, and you see Triple H go up to Jey Uso and go, hey man, I'm going to stick a rocket up your ass, which I hope he doesn't mean literally. And once again, I think those conversations were properly pre-planned. But then you get to the John Cena heel turn, so you can hear all about that as well. Then we talk about Chelsea Green for a little bit, and it basically ends with WrestleMania, or just after WrestleMania. So now that we can go sing our flowers and take a skip back home, because mostly there is absolutely a season 2 coming. I believe this has been confirmed now, and it wouldn't surprise me if that's where the idea for the Seth Rollins injury came from. And you are going to see this unfold on Unreal Season 2. WWE will act like nobody even knew what we were doing, even though if you go back through the timeline, somebody did leak this. My gosh, I would like to know who it was. But when you break it right down, though, the whole point of a television show is it worth your time, and is it entertaining, and are you going to enjoy yourself? And I really do think Unreal ticks all of those boxes. Like, each episode is around about an hour long, but they just zoom on by. I genuinely think that WWE could use one of these as a vehicle to turn somebody into a massive babyface. I may be reaching a bit here, but when the time does come to turn Dominic Mysterio into a good guy, if you let his personality shine on one of these things, I honestly think we are just going to love him twice as much, and that can be the jumping off point to him eventually winning the WWE Championship. I ain't even kidding, man. When it works and you get those personality portraits, just makes you enjoy these people even more. And maybe when we make season 2, we can lean into even that harder. I mean, even the small stories like Chelsea Green gives you when she says, listen, we're paid a lot of money, so if you want me to look like an asshole, I've got no problem with that. Makes you go, well, of course, this is why she made it to the tippity top, because she just gets pro wrestling, and because it is interspersed with actual clips of her doing silly stuff. Well, there's the connection, man. You hear it, you see it. That's probably why it did air on Netflix. If you didn't have the WWE footage, it wouldn't hit as hard, but you get to see it play out in real time. And also, let's face it, we are all geeks deep down, so even when you go to the ring and you see them all planning matches, it's the greatest thing of your life. I mean, going back to that first episode, you see CM Punk talking to John Cena and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins and the rest of them saying, oh, here's the finish I have for the Elimination Chamber match. And John Cena is all amped up like, man, that sounds great. Now, once again, if I were to hazard a guess, I bet that conversation had already happened once, or the cameraman had gone up to them and said, listen, we're filming this for WWE Unreal, so you can do something with that, but it's still an idea of what happens backstage at WWE shows, and that is all that it needs to be. Which brings us to the idea that WWE has now broken professional wrestling with this series. I think that's one of the stupidest things I have ever heard. I mean, for one, yes, I do think it's produced, so it's not actually giving you a proper look into what goes down, but also, this goes back 30 or 40 years when Vince McMahon himself went in front of an athletic commission, I believe it was the one in New Jersey, and said, listen, we don't really want to pay those taxes because we are a sport, because we're sports entertainment. That's why he used to push that term so much. And even before that, nobody truly thought that wrestling was completely on the up and up. You knew deep down in your tootsie toes it was predetermined. So however you felt about kayfabe before this is exactly how you're going to feel about kayfabe after this. It doesn't change anything. Of course you're going to do that in the adverts. You're trying to promote this thing. But even when they break down what happened with I Show Speed, that ain't nothing you haven't seen before. It just shows you how WWE does use celebrities, and they probably only put that in there because they were like, oh man, maybe some of Speed's fan base will actually come and check us out. So wrestling as it currently is will continue to go on in its current form, whatever the flub that means. But you still see people screaming, it's the end of days. It's not the end of days. It's not Baron Corbin's finishing move. For those who like to go nuts on the internet as well, you also get lines such as Triple H saying, well, Jey Uso needs to stop wheezing after he does his entrance. And listen, maybe that conversation did go down, or maybe it didn't, but I would imagine it is in there just to spark debate. But once again, the best stuff is when you do see somebody doing their job, like Abyss, who is now an agent behind the scenes, and he is the guy sort of bringing together everything between CM Punk and Seth Rollins in their main event from that January 6th Raw. And because they're going over time, you see this man have a meltdown. He's apologizing to Bruce Pritchard. William Regal takes him to one side and says, do not worry, my friend, everything will be fine. I would honestly take a series 2 where you see what an agent does, where you see what a producer does. They mentioned that Billy Kidman is the timekeeper. I'd love to see what he does. You could have one that just focuses on Triple H, who's in the big man chair, pulling all of the strings. Let's go to the production truck. Let's see why the director picks certain camera angles and why he doesn't. There is honestly so many little things that we could dive into here that are more interesting than there's a bunch of men and women sat down in a boardroom coming up with stories. I mean, you can guess that in your head. I want to see the real stuff. And for some reason, the gorilla position just has that magic to it. So if you're not totally convinced, just go watch season 1. And I promise you, when you get to the Abyss part, you'll be like, hot damn, what an incredible way to watch pro wrestling. I mean, when they do the episode on the John Cena heel turn, I still walked away going, I don't think we know all the details here. But that's fine. It's a story and all the major players are there. They talk about Travis Scott, they talk about Cena, they talk about Cody Rhodes, they talk about Triple H. You even see The Rock and Triple H having a conversation by this, where they go, I'm going to steal his soul, but oh no, I'm just going to be in business with him. And maybe Cody should tell me to F off as well. Of course, Cody is great throughout all of this too. He totally understands the media PR training game. And every little thing he throws in there, well, it's just essentially a home run. And it makes you feel something, man. Especially because he cries all the time. So I think this is a massive success, and do not forget, it is so easy to ignore. You can mute that word on social media, you don't have to watch it on Netflix. You can continue to enjoy the main product in whatever guise you do want. But if we get to season 2 and we learn from all of this, and it does kind of tie into the story even more, because it's planned that way, I actually think it will just shift up the fun to another level. So if I was going to give it an up, I'd give it an up. I should have said if I was going to give it an up or down, I would give it an up. And I am pumped for season 2, which I do think is going to come out at the end of the year. Also, all 5 episodes are great. They kind of stand next to each other. It's not like one's really, really good and the other one absolutely sucks. and I truly think it will make bigger fans of Rhea Ripley and Chelsea Green, all the people that I've already mentioned, because they just come across like real people who are struggling with the demands of a very stressful job, but it's also their dream, and they are just so pleased and happy to be there. So I think it's a total success. It doesn't kill wrestling. It's actually not going to change sports entertainment at all. And you can't say fairer than that. I'll also point out that it does kind of feel like this is a vehicle to establish Triple H as the Dana White of WWE. But I don't have an issue with that either, because somebody was always going to be the centerpiece. And if you are trying to bring in audiences from outside the WWE bubble, it makes all the sense in the world to say, ugh, this is our reality show, and this man with the beard and the bald head is our head of creative, and that's why you should listen to him, because he's going to tell you how wrestling works and how he books shows. But listen, again, on the download, between you and me, this is not how he books shows. It's just how they want you to think that he does book shows, and that's fine. Wrestling is a world of make-believe. Why not do it here too? Now, of course, lots of people have now watched it, so make sure you drop me a comment below and let me know what you thought about it. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is probably me talking about SummerSlam, because that is the topic of the day at the moment. Then just interact with everything down there as best as you can. But thank you for joining my friends. I do appreciate it. If you'd like to drop me a line personally and tell me what you think about WWE Unreal, I will listen. Until then, I'll see you soon.